All right, call the meeting to order. Adoption of the agenda.
I move to let council adopt the agenda as presented.
In favor?
Second.
Second, no. Opposed? Carried. Number 3, adoption of the minutes.
The council adopt the minutes from the regular council meeting held January 22nd, 2020.
Second. Any discussion on that?
Yes,
Oh.
page 9, 13.3, my report.
Okay.
On the museum, it was 1940, not 1912.
What page?
On page 9?
Top of page
Just
9.
top of page 9. That bag,
Okay.
it was from 1940.
Okay. I will change
Okay,
that.
that's all.
Any other
Errors and omission.
errors or omissions? Okay. All in favor? Okay. 4, introduction of late items. Any late items? One,
Just 8.7.
8.7, okay. All right, any public hearings? Oh, any delegations? No. Okay, 7, unfinished business and business arising from the minutes. None? Okay, 8, any new business?
8.1, the council approved changing the date of the Winter Jamboree to March 14th, 2020.
March 14th.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
No.
There is actually. 8.1. Who wants to move it to March 14th?
Donna.
Councilor White would like to move it because she's organizing it and she is not off that, the 7th.
Okay, so that's been revised to March 17th.
Yeah, that's during the week. Donna asked me for March 14th. I think someone was confused on the date.
Can we hold off on this?
Not really, we need to get advertising out there.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll send a text and ask for clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, we can firm that up by email, folks. That's not a huge one for agenda. Yeah.
Okay, so we can just hold on to that for now and then get an answer to this by email next
She's
week.
saying they're asking for the 17th, not the 14th.
Yeah, because we had some questions in the staff meeting too about what all the events were, what the budget was, and there was some comments in the previous council meeting that the budget is effectively nil because Councilor White was setting up a lot of the stuff through donation and volunteers, but we're just wondering where all that landed and whether or not that's still the case.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table for the 14th. So how are we going to proceed with that?
Could we change the motion that council will approve changing the date to the Winter Jamboree, what accommodates Donna's
Schedule.
schedule?
Can we change that motion like that, or do we have to defeat this motion and enter a new motion?
You'd have to defeat this one and enter a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd recommend the motion be that we choose the date by email vote
Sure.
by this Friday.
Okay. So is there a seconder? Well, is there a seconder to this motion? If not, the motion dies.
There was.
Well, you
no.
already seconded it. Yeah, she
No.
already
Oh, did I?
did. Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Okay.
All those in favor? All those opposed?
Okay.
Motion defeated.
So would you like to make a new motion?
I would like to make a motion that council approve changing of the date of the Winter Jamboree to what accommodates Councillor White by email by this Friday.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Okay. Any discussion on that? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, 8.2.
You can do this one.
Okay, that council approved the registration, travel, and accommodations for the CAO and fire chief to attend the Working Together Effective Fire Service Administration for Fire Chiefs and Local Government Chief Administrative Officers Conference in Kamloops, BC from April 3rd to 5th, 2020.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Lorraine is good with this as well. So good. What? All in favor? Okay, carried. Motion 8.3.
That council received the request from Anastasia Dixon Cedar to use Spruce Park for discussion.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
We need some clarification on what happened.
I think she wants to have an event. Will she be getting insurance for the use of the park?
Well, that's what she's looking for. What does she need to have?
So first,
I think one of the things, though, there is no overnight camping at the park. Is she aware of that?
sort of,
She wants a variation on the use of the park to allow camping
and to hold
And a
her
fire.
event, and to hold her event.
and to hold her event.
So she's asking what forms she needs to fill out. We don't have any forms for using the park at this moment. But internally, we have talked about it and decided kind of that they should need the same kind of stuff they need for the community center, insurance-wise.
Right.
Naming us as the, everything that's on the community center one. Licenses, I don't think there's any licenses needed unless she's doing liquor.
No, I
No.
think, I would check into that, because I think when you have a public event, it's open to the public, you have to have coverage, like a liability insurance. Like, if she hadn't had a public event down there and there was some kind of accident, we would be liable.
Yeah, so she would have to have insurance for her.
That's what I'm talking about.
May I jump in? Though?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. I think this is an interesting proposition from this lady. We've been talking at length over the last couple of years about opening the park up to festivals and things like that. This seems to be someone that's willing to come in and set something up for us, potential to open to the public and kind of host, run, administer the entire thing. I think this is something the council should consider. And there's no reason we couldn't draft up a special agreement, something like this to permit, overnight camping or something, assuming the council is okay with it. But, this definitely seems to fall squarely into that, hey, let's use the park for some creative things that we've been talking about over the last couple of years.
And the park's being used.
Exactly.
I think we're going to open up a can of worms if we start to allow overnight camping.
But it's just for this certain festival here, right?
And we can have something into the agreement that it is returned to the same condition as it was when she first went down there. It will gives us sort of some experience of letting the park be used for other events, see how this goes. I don't know.
The only concern that I had was the campfire And we don't have anything to facilitate that campfire, but I mean, it's easy enough, right? But then you have all these separate little campsites, and I'm sure that they're gonna wanna have their little fires as well.
I don't think that's unreasonable, to want to have a campfire down there.
Yes, but also is she gonna jump through the hoops and make sure that there's first aid, follow all the policies for a public event, i.e. ambulance, you know what I mean, crowd control, parking?
Well, see, that's what she's asking. She's looking for information on what it is that she would need to do this.
Yes,
So,
I'm all right with it.
as long as it's back to the same conditions that it was before. I'm sure public works and that can work together.
So I think there's some concerns that need to be discussed, so I think we should table this to the next council meeting.
When everyone's present. I agree.
Sure.
Okay?
here,
Alrighty.
someone to second that, please.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Alright, 8.4 recommendation.
The council received a request for funding from Dawson Creek Kiwanis Community Band for discussion.
And second.
Any discussion?
Yes. How much money have we donated to the Kiwanis Center? How much do we, like, we did a donation of $500, did we not?
Yeah. here's that.
And how much do we pay them to come and pray?
It's 300
So that's $800. Okay.
last year.
Yeah,
Last
sure.
year was only the 300.
My concern is they come once a year, July 1st, awesome, we love it, the band, whatever. But we have other groups like Puscoopi Community Church that are here all year round, participate in every event, and we don't contribute nothing to them other than their tax thing as a church. So I'm concerned with that.
Alright.
My thing is that it's music. That is something that everyone knows, that music is a wonderful thing. I love music, and they're giving an opportunity to the youth to be involved, to carry on this tradition of having this band. I don't mind still funding them. And I mean, yes, the community church is doing something in Puscoopi, and we are waiving the taxes for them. But they are using a library, our old library. So I mean, and they have the building that they're in dirt cheap.
So let me see if I understand this. Last year, we didn't give them a donation.
We gave them 500 and plus 300 for coming to July 1st.
So 300 for coming for July 1st, it's like
And then-
their fee
Yeah.
for participating.
Call it a donation.
We call it a donation. So this is almost like a double donation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think we should support music.
How much money are you looking at?
Same amount.
500?
Yeah.
The second 500.
One 500 and then one 300.
Well, 300 for July 1st, yeah. Yes. I'll make a motion.
Okay. Is there a seconder?
Shouldn't.
Yeah, we're discussing it. All those in favor?
All in favor?
You
Opposed?
grab mine, Ken, sorry.
That's okay. All right. So 8.5.
That council approve the amended final draft of the 2020 to 2024 capital and special projects as presented.
Seconder?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I think, Chris, you wanted to add something to this?
Yeah, definitely a couple of comments. The first one being thanks for all the input on this in the last meeting. We managed to, through all of that discussion, get the total list down to 22. That's definitely more than I sort of suggested I wanted to see, but we kind of put our heads together and looked at it, and a fairly good number of these projects are tender out and supervise and monitor the contractors. So Sandy and I talked about it. I talked about it at the staff meeting today too. We feel it's manageable as is. The good news is the total dollar value is down to around $355,000, which is slightly more than that target I shot for with council too, but I think that's a reasonable volume of projects given what we're potentially facing elsewhere. Two things to note in the updated list. One is that I put $25,000 next to the paved elevator road. That's for the base assessment. I did reach out to Wade at council's request and had a conversation with him about half an hour long. The gist of it is absolutely the road needs to be base assessed before he'll pave it. And that he'd actually mentioned that to Mr. Milligan as well, so there seems to have been some miscommunication there. But Wade said, the village will be taking on significant risk if we were to pave it or just instruct them to pave it without having the base assessed, because Peter Brothers probably wouldn't be willing to warranty the work.
So, how long is that assessment good for, Chris?
That I don't know, Mr. Chair. I would assume a few years, right? I mean, once somebody puts some holes or do whatever they do to assess that, I can't see it getting worse. You know what I mean? So, but that if council's okay with that, I can definitely have that conversation with whoever we hire to do that work. I would probably look to actually tender that out too, because that doesn't necessarily, that's just somebody with the equipment and the expertise able to do a base assessment. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of the more specialized firms we use for other things. So,
I would really like to get an opinion as to how long that assessment is good for, because gravel roads and resource roads, for example, they sometimes they have to be rebuilt several times a year due to traffic and weather conditions.
Okay. So I can have a few conversations and see, if that's good for a year, good for 2 years, 5 years, whatever that may be. So, so that's line number 20. And then the other one I wanted to bring to council's attention is the line number 10, draft development procedures manual. I'd like council to reconsider if you guys are doing that project. I've had a couple of conversations. It's coming highly recommended that we put one of those together. I did talk to Katrin. I left the original number here at 15, but she told me that we can likely come somewhere between the 15 that I originally thought it was going to be and the 30 that they quoted us later on in the year. So she didn't have an exact number right now, but said she'd work with us to make that as painless as possible. That's the right way to put it.
What number is it?
15.
15, okay.
10. Number 10, yeah, the draft development procedures. The previous meeting, you guys had said to move it to 2021. Of course, if that's still the desire of the council, I'm okay with that, but like I say, the folks in the know and the folks in this space are saying that's something we definitely should have.
I kind of agree. What I am thinking of, that's fine with our staff. They've been here for quite a while. They know the ins and outs. But previous history of the village is if we lost staff, a new staff came in, they wouldn't have any previous history or protocol to follow for a development. They wouldn't know the past history, what, or what the steps or whatever. I think it's a solid thing. That's my opinion.
Okay. Thank you.
The only other comment I have is with regards to this budget, and I'll draw this analogy. My furnace is going to die. I'm going to need a new furnace. How much is a new furnace?
6 to 10, depending on,
Okay, let's say 6,000. $6,000 is a lot of money. So knowing that at some point it's going to die, am I going to put aside so much money a month to buy a new furnace? Or am I going to go out knowing that I'm going to need a new furnace? Or am I going to go out and take a loan for $6,000 to go buy a new furnace?
Okay.
So knowing that it's going to die eventually, I'm going to try my best to save a few dollars, put it aside, so that when it does go, I can call Bob's service and Bob will come down and replace my furnace. Now, the analogy where this leads is, well, it may very well cost us a pretty penny. It's quite a possibility to clean up the Northwinds mess. And so what are we going to do as a municipality? Are we going to budget for that and put a few pennies aside? Or are we going to write a one-time check and pay for it?
I'm misunderstanding. I thought a draft development procedures manual is if a developer comes in, which we have.
No, this is
property-
totally different. This is with regards to cleaning up the haven. That's 800,000.
Isn't that in Canada?
No. It is? No. Okay.
Well, what you're saying right now is
It's public. Yeah.
public information, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I see where you're going with this, Mr. Chair. You're basically saying is 355,000 as a total capital and special project spend the kind of thing we should be doing in light of that potential scenario coming up?
Absolutely. I think we should put some money aside for it and include in our budget, should we have to do this.
So, yeah, and that
I hear you.
it's going to be a standalone project if we do, of course, but it doesn't really fall into capital or, well, it might fall loosely into the special project category. Long story short, we do have the funds to do it. The village has about $5 to $5.2 million in overall reserve savings right now. So that we can take it on. I'm not aware of any borrowing programs to go ahead and pay for something like that, so we couldn't reach out to the Municipal Finance Association and say, we need to borrow $1 million over 10 years to clean this up, to spread it out. I don't think there's a loan program that exists for something like that. I can look into it if the situation arises, but
All right.
we've got the cash to write a check. It's just going to be really painful to do it, of course.
But my concern goes a step forward then, because it's not our money that we're spending. It's the village's money.
Yeah.
And we're to be good stewards of their money. So if we know we're going to have to spend X amount of dollars on this project, I think we as a municipality have to live within a budget that we've set for ourselves. And that means some things that we would like to see get done do not necessarily get done.
Exactly.
Okay. May I make a couple of suggestions to that end, then, folks, just for that discussion along?
Yeah.
If we were to consider bringing this down purely from a dollars and cents savings standpoint and sort of play that what-if scenario, the projects with the maximum impact this year are going to be, first off, number 26, the sidewalk, $100,000 right there. we've got the plan, that's a shelf-ready project. There's actually no need, operational need to build that this year. We can easily put that off to 2021, 2022. We know the corridor is good, we've got that study, it's ready to go. So that would actually be my first recommendation to push off. Partly for maximum impact, but also because it can be done. The next one would probably be even the study to pave Elevator Road. We could do that next year as well. The utility vehicle, I know the Director of Public Works is already getting quotes on that, so we could easily live with it for, without it for another year. And then those would probably be the top three, I would think, at this point. And if council would want to consider, again, just looking at it as well, maybe 355 is even too much for this year. That's 145,000 out of that we push till next year. We've always got the option. Once council approves this and it's in that 2020 column, you're directing staff to go ahead and start those projects. If we push it to the 2021 column and, by July, let's say, okay, we realize that maybe cleaning up that property isn't on the radar for this year, council can easily pass a motion that, yeah, Mr. Lake, go ahead and get the paving assessment done and let's buy the side-by-side after all. Not a problem. We've got tons of time remaining to do that. But if it's in the 2020 column in a couple of months, once the budget's fully adopted, we will start actively looking to complete those projects within that year. So if council's worried about the number, just some of those big high-value, little bit wish list projects into the following year, and then we can evaluate halfway through the year and see if we bring them back.
Yep, okay. So this is for information?
No.
This is just council approved.
Number 10, draft development procedures manual, 15,000, work with urban systems.
That's fine.
That's the question, is it not? Is that?
No.
No, that was 8.6.
No, we're on 8.5 right now.
Okay.
Sorry, 8.5.
Yeah, what I'm looking for tonight, folks, is for you guys to ratify this list so that I can include it as is in the budget and then move on to the operational section. So, and I think given the way you guys are talking, that's actually not a bad thing to do right now if you want, because we can, like I said, we can push $145,000 of projects into 2021. And there's no reason we can't pull those back into 2020 midway through the year if we see that things aren't the worst case scenario that we're envisioning. And then that lowers the 2020 project to 205,000 and mostly administrative type paperwork projects. So I think that's pretty good because one of council's stated goals was to improve our policies and procedures for this year. So.
Marlene?
I understand wanting to save money. The sidewalk is for the kids to be walking to that school. And I purposely pull out on the highway at the corner and then pull down 51st, I believe it is, isn't it? Not the one in front of the school. The one. And when you are coming up to that corner, number one, the lights are on the street this way. They're not on the street towards
The school direction.
they're pointing to the school. So, I mean, you can see everything there. I mean, that street is nicely lit, but it's that side street where those kids are walking. They've just crossed the highway. They're going past Cookie. Dark. So dark. And those kids, you have to really watch out for them because they just look like little dark shadows if you manage to see them. And when it's snowing, it's really difficult to see them. So it's a safety issue not only with them walking on the roads, but the lighting as well. And I don't think that we should postpone those sidewalks at all. The amount of kids that are walking to school, I mean, there isn't tons of them, but they are walking to school.
And we want to,
And it is dark.
and it's saying we've agreed to postpone it to 21?
Well, that was one of the things, one of the suggestions, and I'm saying I don't feel that it should be postponed. I don't mind postponing paving Elevator Road because, I mean, that's just something that's just been brought up. It's not a safety issue. And the utility vehicle for the fire chief here, I believe that they need one. So that's my opinion. Thought I'd share that with you.
Okay,
May I jump in one more time?
absolutely.
To put it into context, last year's capital and special project plan was right around the 900,000 mark. So I know 355 is still a big number, but that was part of the intention of this year was to scale it back significantly from what it had been in the last few years. So, yeah. But this is your plan, guys. So if there's anything in there you're not comfortable with, definitely put it over.
Well, I think we could go ahead and approve the budget and then we have to be diligent. It's a good plan and
Yeah.
we may or may not have something dumped in our lap, right? So,
Yeah.
all right, so all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Nobody raised their hand?
What's that?
You're all in favor?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
No hand up means impossible.
Okay.
8.6.
That council received the budget proposal for general government, public health and welfare and recreation for discussion.
Second.
So,
Go ahead. I think.
Chris was going to give you guys a PowerPoint presentation. And he asked me if I felt comfortable doing it. I said no.
Oh,
So you all have a printed copy and he can speak to it.
okay.
Is this something that we should be discussing without our other,
They would have been through it.
okay.
Yeah, I presented everything you guys have in front of you. I presented it to Councilor White and the mayor last week. Sandy has a couple of pieces that they commented to. The big ones were two of the lines over in the general government section, which I'll get to when we get to that. So I'm totally okay doing this by phone. If you guys want to just follow along in the PowerPoint, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey. So the title of this page is the agenda, and it's basically to go through general government, which means admin, finance, and town hall operations, public health and welfare, which is also known as animal control, bylaw, and cemetery maintenance, and then recreation, which is Coos Park operations, museum, library, and then other celebrations.
Does that include the community center?
Sorry, say again, Councilor?
Does that include the community center?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So next slide is general government budget from 2018. So 2018 actual versus budget, we came in $69,000 under budget. Next slide is 2019. So this is again just talking about town hall operations. So our budget was $714 and we spent $686. And there's still a few minor things trickling in. This number is about a week and a half old, but long story short, we came in under budget in town hall operations for the 4th year in a row. And you'll see why that's actually really important in another minute here as well. So first little table would be general government environmental health, and this is from last year. So across those 4 $99,600 under budget last year. This year, we came in under budget by 60,000 across those areas. So still really, really good. And then now we're at the slide. Congratulations are in order on the top. Results like this do not happen without a focused team effort from everyone. So I'd like to offer congratulations to council, and then congratulations to members of staff as well. I did extend them congratulations today in the staff meeting. These are some pretty amazing results in what is a busy and productive year for the village. Continuing on general government, as mentioned in last year's presentation though, we've seen consistent decreases in the budget for town hall operations since 2016. And I believe we've now hit that minimum operating threshold that I mentioned to everybody in last year's presentation. We can't continually, see the costs go down. At some point, we're going to hit a minimum operating threshold, and I think we've hit that now. But comparing things all the way back to 2016, the town hall operations budget was $855,000. It now stands at $713,000 for 2020. So we quite literally shaved $141,500 a year off of the town hall operating expenses. Absolutely phenomenal results there, folks. So that represents a 16.5% decrease in the administrative operating expenses, while simultaneously doing more over the last few years than we ever have in the past. So, looking at years like 2014, 2015, for example, we only had about 4 or 5 capital and special projects on the book. Last year we completed 21. And we saved $141,000 in the process just on day-to-day operations. So, really, really good. But I do want to caution council, I believe we're actually at the stage of budget cuts where we've whittled everything down so much, there's nowhere left to go, and we're going to start seeing minor increases going forward just due to inflationary pressures and things of that nature. And then now on the slide, general government continues. It's not all down. We have seen notable increases to reflect actual costs in a couple areas. One of them being legal, travel, and then we've seen a small increase in general government wages, and that's partly due to two things. Overtime for the community events, and then hiring the second front counter person to meet our union requirements. And we did hire that person part-time to make sure we were meeting the union requirements at the absolute minimum cost. So, now on the first big graph, and this sort of puts things into a visual perspective. We can see that number from 2016 at $855,000, and then 2020 is $713. But here's sort of what I'm talking about visually. We were really only able to compress the budget a few $100 over 2019, which was $714,000. So there's not a lot of opportunity left to cut unless we start looking at things like completely eliminating advertising or economic development funding or those types of things. General government last year to 2018, first bit of a big Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to skip over that one and then go to the general government 2020 to 2024. So this was all gone through in detail with the mayor and Councillor White. And on the second page, the mayor and Councillor White suggested to council that we increase the legal budget from $17,500 to $25,000. Because of that actual number that we saw last year. And the mayor especially felt that with some of the headwinds with the north winds and other items we have ongoing here this year, that having a little bit of a healthy legal budget is going to be a good idea. And then the mayor and Councillor White also suggested that we lower the volunteer in over on one of the other pages there to 500 from 2,000. So, any questions about any of those lines?
So you're saying that, from the budget, 2019 budget, we're over by about 27,000?
No, for 2019, Mr. Chair,
Yep.
so that we underspent the budget, so the actual dollars came in 27,000 below what the budget was.
Below.
Yeah.
Yep. Marlene?
Looking at page 27 in the agenda and looking under public health, social welfare, the animal bylaw control, and 2019 it's 32,000. In 2020 it's 55. When we accepted this, the animal control officer, part of it was, and why it was budgeted so high was because of course costs. He said he had some more courses to upgrade. So it being till 2024, I did not expect that.
I think when it comes to an identifiable individual, that should be discussed in camera.
Okay. No, but I was wondering if it was courses.
No, just
No.
contract cost.
Yeah, that's the sum total of the contract cost the council approved for the bylaw animal control officer contract.
Okay.
Now, to your point, so Councillor Hebert, the 2019 budget was significantly less, but the former contract holder only did animal control. So yes, the dollar value is higher for the new contract holder, but that individual is actually doing two key services for the village as opposed to just the one.
Okay. And I mean, is this a Monday to Friday all day thing?
The contract is a 7-day-a-week
Oh, okay.
contract, yes. And it's, so it's, long story short, folks, all that number is just the
Yeah.
contract the council approved.
Right.
Yeah. The other one that's gone up pretty significantly, you'll notice, is building inspection. That's actually a good thing. That's a function of two things. A, we're building houses and properties in town, and B, we're actually seeing extremely regular from the building inspector, not only on the scheduled days, but also he's very responsive to calls out for service and special requests and stuff for us. So I feel we're getting really good value for service there, or value from them.
Awesome.
Is any more questions with regards to 8.6? All in favor? Okay, carried. Late item 8.7. Thank you, Chris.
Welcome.
8.7, I'd like to make the motion that we discuss the invitation from the city of Dawson Creek for Tuesday, February 11th, for discussion.
Discussion seconder.
Yes, second.
Okay. So is anyone wanting to go? I'm teaching. I'm unavailable.
And I need to know if you're going to each event.
Have you discussed this with others?
Yes.
Okay, so is this more or less for information?
No, I need to know, because I have to respond ASAP. It's not info.
I would like, I'm going to thank you, but I'm unable, yeah. Can I add a motion that we thank Dawson Creek for the invitation?
We do have somebody representing us.
Okay.
Marlene, no.
No, thank you.
Okay.
All in favor? Carried. Correspondence. Is there anyone that wants to review any particular piece of correspondence? Let's see. Yes, Marlene.
9.1,
Yep.
that council received a report from Pouce Coupe Fire Department for information. I was looking at that and I thought, what are all these things? I don't even know what they mean. Page 28, 29.
So which things are you referring to? What?
All of the
they've listed?
abbreviations on the training side. Yeah,
Abbreviation.
yeah.
Oh,
SCBA.
Self-contained breathing apparatus.
Oh, okay.
and?
That's it.
Alright. Well, good job to Blair
Yes.
and the volunteers
Yes.
of the Pouce Coupe Fire Department. Way to go. Make us proud, keep us proud.
And I also would like to add, thank you, the fire department and public works for the skating rink.
Yes.
It is busy, I work on weekends, and it is very busy, and it's being used lots this year.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Have you guys taken the opportunity to read the year-end report from the RCMP?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and kudos go out to the RCMP as well. They,
Yes.
they're doing a very good job in trying to keep our streets safe for all of us, and I certainly appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. 9.3, just to have a quick boo at it.
The official invite will be on the next agenda.
Okay, for 9.3?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just leave that. Sorry, Martin.
No, that's it.
Okay? Yes?
9.5?
Yes, 9.5? Oh, yes, let's talk about 9.5.
That council received a letter from the Legion regarding placing an advertisement in their annual book for discussion.
Okay, yeah. We dealt with this kind of last year.
Second one?
We deal with this
Second.
every year.
Okay. Discussion.
We've always given, was it 500? What was it? The amount?
We give the amount that it would cost to place the advertisement.
Right.
So the one that we usually do is the quarter page, so it amounts to $595 is what we usually give them.
But instead of buying the advertisement, we give.
Give it to the Pouce Legion.
Yes,
I like
but you
that.
need to make a motion for that, please.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion in lieu of the donation to the Legion.
Would you like me to read it for you?
Yeah.
How about give a donation to the local Legion as opposed to placing? Give a donation to the local Legion in the amount of 500 and what I said, 95.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice motion, Barb, thank you. Seconder?
Second.
Any opposed? Carried.
9.6, I just have a couple things on there, but regarding the caribou. They are going to have Blair Lexstrom speak at a chamber meeting. Does anyone wish to attend, or is anybody attending?
I sent it out, but nobody's responded.
I will go on behalf, just gotta remind me. I think to show our support, Blair's gonna talk about why they did what they did and
There's lots of interesting stuff happening. I don't know if we can discuss it in open council or not.
Not yet.
Okay. So if you want to attend, I'm all for that.
What is that?
it's Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Next Wednesday?
I think so.
I have to go back on my computer and look. Oh, here it is, right here, February 12th. The invite's right here. At George Dawson Inn.
All right, so we don't need a motion for RTO.
No.
Okay, good. Let's take a look at one more if you don't mind, 9.8.
The council received the email regarding Moultrie House as information.
Yeah,
So,
okay, so, all right. So I'm out of sequence here. And I don't know if I can or if I can't, because I'm sure we've already carried something. But I'd like to go back and take a look at 8.6 again if we could. Just to throw a wrench in things.
Backwards. You're gonna
Well.
confuse me.
I know, right? Page 22 of our agendas.
Oh, Christopher, you're so much trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
22, operating budget? Or are you talking about poultry's donation?
I'm talking about 8.6.
The budget, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at the supper. Is that here, listed here?
Which supper?
Volunteer supper.
Yeah,
The one they reduced to $500?
Is that already been done?
Well, that's what Chris was talking about. Right, Chris? The volunteer banquet, is that what you're talking about, Ken?
Yeah, that's it.
so, yeah, that was what I mentioned in the quick PowerPoint there, that the mayor and Councillor White had suggested that council reduce that one to 500.
Okay. So, all right, I was looking for it in the agenda, not in the PowerPoint. I'm sorry. All right, any other discussion with regards to correspondence?
nothing for me.
All right. Then, let's see, resolutions, any resolutions? No, bylaws? Administration reports,
It's attached.
as attached, any,
Discussion? No.
no? We don't even have to, make a motion to receive it, or no?
No, it's part of it.
It's part of his,
agenda.
yeah, no,
Okay.
that one you don't have to.
Okay, action items? Page 105. Anyone see anything there?
Can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
So some time ago, council asked for extra info regarding treaty land entitlement.
Yes.
There is some extra info in here. Does that take care of that?
Yes, yes.
Or can we get rid of that one now, or does that, or not?
There's more meetings coming up with regards to that.
But for this issue here,
Okay,
does that take care of this? Can I remove it from the action item?
What do you guys think?
Table it.
Table it, we'll table that.
So it's still ongoing?
Still ongoing.
Okay, and then one other question regarding a letter to Tremblay House.
Mhm.
I believe someone has spoken to CAO about this, but I'm not sure. Do you still want us to send a letter to Tremblay House asking if they're interested in a new seniors home or not?
That was yours.
Yes, they have the other lot on this side, and there's grants out there for senior. The only thing at this time, we want to have a housing study
So
done.
you want us to leave it there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
And we
what?
need the housing study completed first to see if we need one.
Okay.
And I support you 100% on that. I'd love to see a twin to the Tremblay House built there.
Okay. Okay.
All right, not that I don't want my mother-in-law to move out. Not at all.
It's on camera.
I don't.
Please, Mom.
All right, capital and special projects, 12.3.
We don't have a list yet.
Sorry?
We don't have a list yet.
Okay. Council calendars, 12.4. Anyone see anything there? Want to add anything?
Have a meeting tomorrow with the museum.
Can I jump in one sec?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Councilor Hebert, you jogged my memory on something, and it was in a PowerPoint slide there that I never got a chance to speak to. I actually don't have the library or the museum's budget yet, so I gotta speak to Councilor White as well about, nudging the library board along to get me those documents. So all I've done in the budget is just included the same number as last year for both the library and the museum.
Okay. I will speak to them.
I'm going to be away from the 12th and returning on the 14th
Of February?
of February. Okay. All right. So let's go into reports. And Councillor White is not here. Did she send in a report?
No.
Councillor Smith.
Okay, I haven't been to anything other than Poultry House meeting, which I sit on it not as councillor, but as a Bruce resident. We're tentatively looking at a fundraiser, and I would like council's support and to waive the use of the community center. We'd like to tentatively book April 14th for a fundraiser for the Poultry House. We're just sort of developing our plan, but we have a date. And I just tentatively want to book the community center and have the charges waived so we don't have to pay the hall rental.
Okay. So,
It is free, that day has been checked.
Thank you.
The 14th.
Of April,
are you like having dinner or something?
yes. I'll be sending the bill for a table.
Oh. Anything else?
No, I have down here, thanks for the skating rink. It looks good, it looks fun, and it's used lots.
Do we need to make a motion about waiving any fees for the
Yes.
14th? All right, would you like to make that motion? I guess you just did, didn't you?
You're asking for it.
I'm
I'll make
asking.
a motion
And
that we
I,
waive the fee.
and I think you should,
I'll second it.
and
Any opposed? Carried.
I just think it would be easy to get.
thank you.
Councillor Ebert.
Well, I did already mention I have a meeting tomorrow at the museum. I'm talking to the person that cleans up the post office about switching out that sink to make it easier to use. And the drain is just about plugged, so when, talk about that drain too, getting fixed.
I think there are report forms to send to Yeah, with regards to
She has a work order,
maintenance.
she has a work order book she's supposed to send us.
All right,
Still?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell her that. Well, she was just putting up with it, but she said, if you think that a sink is going to fix that, she said, I gotta tell you.
If there's a problem, she has a work order book, she's supposed
Okay.
to fill it out, put it, she puts it in the mailbox, or gives it to Blair.
Okay, I'll remind her of that, thank you. And I was talking to a lady who would like to rent chickens. In the village, she's going to be.
Rent chicken houses or
Rent chickens and the houses. So she said she'd be a delegation at some point. And she has lots of interest in Poughkeepsie for renting these hen houses.
But we don't have any
We
policy.
do not have a bylaw.
I will
That
double
allows
check, but I'm
chickens.
pretty sure we didn't put chickens in it.
No,
I think you have to be on ALR property so far in the village to have farm animals.
I don't think it's a big issue. Someone wants to have a couple of chickens in their backyard, is it?
No. Pardon?
Chickens stink.
They stink.
We discussed this and I was totally opposed to it because where do you think the chicken flu comes from?
No baking pies.
All right, yeah, so if she wants to bring a delegation in, that'd be totally
She
cool.
needs to fill out the form and send it to me, please.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. 26, I was out in Tower Lake and had a meeting with Courtesy Matters. And it was really interesting to hear their presentation. They're actually a leader in the field of detecting any sort of seismic activity as a result from any seismic anomalies, you know, any fracturing in the subsurface. And it was a totally cool presentation. And they made it again today. So I don't know, there's some information floating around. If any of our citizens are concerned about it, they could certainly contact me and I'd be happy to share with them the information that I got from Canada.
Why don't you do a little paragraph or two and have it put in our newsletter?
I could do a little paragraph or two and perhaps put it in our newsletter.
And also I want to thank them for their $50,000 donation to
To the
Poultry
Poultry
House.
All right, so yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, they're good to the community. So that's awesome. We had another Courtesy Matters meeting today. And it was our regularly scheduled Courtesy Matters for our group here. And, you know, these are people who are genuinely wanting to hear our concerns and approach them. You know, if you have an issue, let's talk about it, let's deal with it. You know, Courtesy Matters, I really enjoy being a part of that organization. We have another meeting, I think it's on the 25th, for the Peace River Regional District, where we'll be talking about solid waste and what are we going to do with essentially the material that we send to our landfills. And every 4 years, I believe that has to be reviewed. Yeah, reevaluated and see if there's anything we want to do with that. It's totally cool because aside from the information they're given, there was a company out of Grand Prairie who was looking at doing something with the gas that's coming from the landfills. And I'm kind of thinking, geez, you know, is that something that we could take advantage of here? So I don't know, if another company can make a commercial venture out of it in Alberta, why couldn't we do the same thing here? That was just my thoughts anyway. So those are my schedule. I'm away from the 12th to the 14th. And that's pretty much all I have. All right, so do we need a motion to go into camera?
Yes. I make the motion that we move to in camera as per section 90.1G of the community charter. In camera as per section under G, litigation and potential litigation affecting the municipality. Second.
Okay.
Give me, I need a few minutes.